Okay, this is Mr. Peterson, and I am on page 2 of the 2.7 Part B notes for Honors Algebra 2. And what we're trying to do is solve this system of functions here. It's actually got a quadratic one, like a parabola, and a line crossing it. Let me remind you of what these look like. You're trying to find these intersections, points, where a line crosses a parabola. Okay, in this case, we're trying to get the quadratic part of it, the top, to solve for y. That's your starting point, so I'm going to copy the original here. And I'm going to solve for y by taking that y over. Okay, let's graph this one while we're at it. Alright, so let me clear this out. 3x squared minus 5x plus 1. Okay, that's our, let me zoom 6 to show you that picture here. Okay, that's our parabola. And now we're going to take this expression right here, which is equal to y, and we're going to substitute for the y in the other equation. So here comes the substitution part. 3x plus 2 times y, but we're going to substitute for that y. So instead of that y, I'm going to put this expression. And then that's going to equal 7. If you look up there, it says equal 7. Okay, distribute, and let's kind of clean this up a little bit here. And now I'm going to bring the 7 over and put this in the right order. 6x squared, these combine to be minus 7x. And this 2 joined by a negative 7 gives negative 5. So now I'm ready to see if this factors. If it does, I'm going to keep going with that way of doing it. So I'm going to quit to the home screen and type b squared, which is 49, minus 4. That's always part of this process. Times 6 times negative 5. If you're curious, that's the part underneath the square root sign on the quadratic formula. And we've got a perfect square, which is an indication that this will factor. So let me go ahead and put my little star here and get this going. 6 on the wings, negative 30 up above, and negative 7 down below. So we're going to have two numbers that multiply to give this and add to give this, and I think we're going to use 3 and negative 10. This becomes 2 over 1, and this becomes 3 over negative 5. You have to simplify those. Okay, let me come up over here with what we've got. This factors as 2x plus 1 and 3x minus 5, which yields two different answers. The first answer is x equals negative 1/2. And the other one is x equals 5/3. Now we're going to come down this side first. I'm going to plug that x value into the simpler equation, the linear one here. So this gives negative 3/2 plus 2y equals 7. Take that over. 2y equals 7 plus 3/2. 2y equals, let's see what 7 plus 3/2 is. Now you got the decimal version there. Hit the math key and the enter key twice and it'll convert it to 17/2. And multiply both sides by 1/2 here. Or divide by 2, but it's easier to think of this way. So that's the y value when x is negative 1/2, so we're going to just put those two together. There's your x. Here's your y. Okay, when I draw the parabola, right now I've only drawn when I draw the line through there, you'll see an intersection point at that location, we hope. Okay, now I'm going to go down the other side, and it looks like this. You're going to substitute into there 5/3 for the x into the linear equation. So these cancel and gives 5 plus 2y equals 7. Subtract 5 off both sides and divide by 2. So this time we get 5/3 for the x, and that gives a whole number 1 for the y. Okay, now let me go back up here and I'm going to check this answer on my calculator. If I take that 3x plus 2y and prep it for graphing on the calculator, you get the y by itself, and then you should be able to do it. So go to the y equals key. I'm going to keep that parabola in there. I want that. So it's going to be -3/2 x plus 7/2 graph. So here it comes. And let's see if it corresponds with this. So hit the trace key. Actually, let's go second calc choice number 5. And you scroll over near the answer. We're going to do the one on the left first. Hit enter once, twice, 3 times, and it'll find the intersection. And that is 17/4 there. So this answer is checked. The other one should be at 5/3, 1. This will be 1.66 when it comes to it. So trace 5 divided by 3, enter, and you can see it's looks like it's blinking on the intersection, but we're going to go second calc choice 5 and hit enter 3 times. And sure enough, 1 2/3 or 5/3, 1. So both of these answers work. Okay. Looks like I was off screen for a significant little portion of that time. I'll leave that there while you guys copy it and catch up. Okay, this system number 3 here is easier to solve. It's got the y's already by itself, so the substitution happens right away. You can just take this expression that equals y and replace that y with it. So that would take you down to this line here. We're going to replace this y with the expression above it. Taking these over and consolidating, you get x squared minus 2x minus 24. This one factors. I'll show you the setup here. We have 1 times negative 24 there. And the factors that multiply to give that and add to give this are 4 and negative 6. So that leads us to a factored version of x plus 4 and x minus 6, which then yields x values of negative 4 and positive 6. So we're going to come over here and find out what y values go with those. I'm going to use the linear equation. So this gives y equals negative 32 plus 29, which will be negative 3. So this intersection point is negative 4, negative 3. And the other one is going to be 8 times 6 plus 29, which is 48 plus 29. And that y value turns out to be 77. So the second point of intersection should be way up at 677. Okay, so let me graph these and clear out the old ones. So x squared plus 6x plus 5 and 8x plus 29. Now if I say zoom 6 here, I'm certainly not going to see that point since the standard screen only goes up to a height of 10. So instead I'm going to manually go to my window key and put 100 on the y maximum, and then I'll hit graph. see what this does for me. Well, I can definitely see the two intersection points. I'm going to go down a little further to get this more up in the center of the screen. Window, let's go -50 on that one. Hit graph, here it comes. When it settles down, we're going to go second calc, choice 5, and scroll over near the answer you're looking for. We'll define the one on the left first. Hit enter 3 times. And -4, -3, this answer is right. And then one more time, second calc, choice 5, and scroll over closer to that one than the other one is all you need to be. That's good enough. Hit enter 3 times, and you should see 677 pop up. And that does it for page 2 of the notes.